Property could fall by 18%. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. Let's look at this article from realestate.com.au about Melbourne property prices forecast to tumble by up to 18% by 2023. Now, let's start by having a look at some property data. Not all capital cities. We'll go to asking prices for Melbourne from SQM, and let me just reload this page so it comes up. Okay. What are the asking prices right now? 3-bedroom house is at $1,060,000. $1,060,000. So I'm going to Excel this up. So if we do 1,061,000. Okay, 1,061,000, and we discover what 18% of that is, 0.18. We're talking $190,000, and I'll bring this down here. So there you go, $190,000. So let's say if we take $190,000 off that, we're looking at $870,000. Now, if we have $870,000, how far back do we need to go for 3-bedders to reach $870,000? We go back. Okay, we're 900 in 2020, May 2020. Okay, 800, wait, there we go. We got a dip. So 2019, we're not quite at 870. We're going to have to go back. Okay, we're going, say, 2017, everyone. So we're going 2017. A few years back to get that. But was housing affordable in 2017? No, it wasn't. People were complaining about housing affordability back then. Now, we've got to remember, whenever there are any predictions about price falls, we need to think about it in time frames. Think about it in years. Same thing with your stock market investments. Like, I was watching the market and I saw my US investments were down, or, my investments were down for, including Australian shares. And I'm thinking, oh, no. Did I freak out? No. I just looked. I've been tracking every month. And I looked at, okay, so I'm this many months back. Whoop-de-doo. I'll be back again. That's how I think psychologically you need to frame these things. And shares, they're much easier to liquidate and to turn into cash than property. So we'll have to see. I think this is going to result in a fear of negative equity. That's what we're going to see, and that will dampen people's, gusto in the market. So we'll have to see. The average Melbourne home could plummet more than $150,000 before the end of next year. Property prices across the city are predicted to fall by up to 18% from current levels by 2023. A new Property Track report has warned. Now, will you pay attention to this? If you have property or investments in Melbourne, will it matter? It might affect how much you choose to borrow from the equity that you've gained in that property to buy another property or do another investment, perhaps. If you're trying to time the market, though, is that something you should pay attention to? Remember all the media articles and all the predictions of property falling and all the issues that we had. I think the one certainty is if there's any danger of significant corrections to the market, our government will intervene. That's the one thing I'd bet on now, seeing what's happened in the last few years. We've got a Labor government. It may be different, although it may not be. Just the way they intervene may be different. A double-figure percentage fall for Melbourne's $907,000 June median house price would equate to $163,000. A more modest 15% could wipe out $136,000. So, there you go. They're using different figures to what I'm using, but the principle's the same. Property Track expects Melbourne to have the country's biggest fall in values across the country alongside Sydney, with prices forecast to drop between 3 to 6% by the end of the year and 9 to 12% by next year, according to realestate.com.au's data. Property Track Director of Economic Research, Cameron Cusher, said although prices decelerated before the Reserve Bank lifted interest rates from 0.1% to 1.35% in the past 3 months, the RBA's actions have further slowed price growth. The recent run-up in prices coupled with reducing borrowing capacities as interest rates rise, is likely to see price falls broaden and then accelerate further into 2023, with the most expensive cities expected to record the largest price falls. We can see here, Sydney, what are they forecasting? So to December 23, they're saying 9 to 12% down. Melbourne, 9 to 12%. Brisbane, 6 to 9% down. Adelaide, 3 to 6. Perth, negative 2 to 1% down. Hobart, 7 to 10% down. Okay, Perth might actually go up 1%. Hobart down 10%. That's a big chunk. But Hobart property's just going nuts, guys. It's just going crazy. Darwin, 4 to 7% down. Canberra, 7 to 10. And combined 7 to 10%. NAB's latest residential property survey forecast a more dramatic 7.7% decline in Melbourne prices this year and 14.1% in 2023. A national price fall of about 15% was expected during the next 18 months, Commonwealth Bank of Australia head of Australian economics, Gareth Aird, said in June. Real Estate Institute of Victoria President Richard Simpson believes an 18% fall was unlikely due to record low unemployment, overseas migration increasing, rising rents and housing stock levels remaining low due to high demand for building material. Yes. I mean, he's right there. Okay, we've got a rental crisis. It's expensive to get places to live right now. So that's going to ensure yields maintain a certain level and investors will hold onto their properties or look to acquire more. And you've got builders collapsing. Builders collapsing left, right, and center. We had a good news video that I'll probably release later tonight about a developer buying a nice block, but many are pulling out of projects and builders are going bust. We've had home builder overheat the market and cause a whole lot of problems, coupled with supply issues. What do you think that's going to do to future supply in housing stock in the next couple of years? So, and then, we've got calls for overseas migration because we've got low unemployment, so they can justify that. They've got labor shortages, skills shortages. So what do you reckon, all of this combined? It's going to provide support for the market. So he said Melbourne prices could fall 5 to 8% over the next 12 months. Barry Plant, executive director of Mike McCarthy, said home prices could drop 3 to 6% this year, but history has shown trying to forecast further into the future is crystal balling. Yeah, I mean, it is completely, it gets the views. People are worried about property. Property is our state religion here in Australia. And I was this morning, I was catching an Uber and I was talking to the Uber driver and he was complaining about, businesses letting go staff and not paying them as much because times are getting tough. And I'm going, well, why would anyone start a business in Australia, mate? You got to jump through so many hoops. It's such bullshit. Everyone just gets into property. And you're pretty much, you're government backed almost. It feels like it. It really feels like property is government backed. Anyway, Melbourne's median house price fell 0.66% to 907,000 in June, PropTrack reported. So, and there we go. That's all there is to that one. So, guys, well, let's have a bit of a talk about this. It is an interesting point trying to predict house price movements further and further into the future. Hang on, isn't my volume a bit low? There we go. I'll put that up. It feels like it's always doomed to failure. Remember, we had the media will jump and exemplify anything negative because it gets the views. Now you had also fear of missing out, and that drove people in the market. Now you've got fear of negative equity that's holding people back. But you've got all these other potential issues that could, add support or even drive up housing prices. I wonder if the damage caused by home builder is going to cause issues with future supply, or people are actually afraid to build, so there'll be increased demand for existing stock. You tell me, guys. What do you reckon? What are your predictions for housing in the next 12 months? Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I discuss and go over here, there are a few ways you can help out. Simply watching and sharing the channel is a great way to help it grow. You can support us financially via YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve or AussieBroadband. Buy our pocket squares or call us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you all in the next episode. I wonder if we'll see any 40% price drop predictions again. We'll have to see.